Howdy folks, this is Tom Bartley in Las Vegas, Nevada, doing a SimSeaLion update for early April. And basically, we've changed a little bit since last time. We've made it a bit more about what the simulation is currently about, which is simulating London in 1940. The chance of invasion is small, but there. But yeah, mainly what we're doing currently is just getting the maps in order. And I'll show you some of that in a minute. But basically, Bob Mottram's been working very heavily on the map art software, and I've been running it in larger stages, doing some modification, and we're getting to the stage. There's really the point where we want to start getting more developers involved, basically. But we're getting to the stage where we can get the maps, we can resolve them into the urban simulation, and start looking at urban simulation with agents for London in 1940. So probably Map Blend has all the exciting stuff currently because so last weekend Bob ran for a particular area. We ran it for I think this one, which was really for I don't know. I've been watching a lot of John Rogers videos, and he's been walking through this particular area recently. So shout out to John Rogers and his videos. But he's been walking through this particular area recently and up here and doing a bunch of walking around this area. And it's mainly estuarial land with rivers running through and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, if we're going to get one map out, let's get this one out because it's got some cityscape that the agents can wander through. But really, it's just a lot of walking and a lot of avoiding sea or swimming around it or doing a bunch of stuff. So anyway, Bob and I worked over Saturday last weekend, and we came up with a JSON file. And no, JSON, here we go. So this is my Ape SDK version, and this is Bob's original map that he provided. But through the process, I started, I wanted to run the full thing end to end too. I wanted to get all the maps. So basically, Bob wrote code to get all the maps and to generate. I think they're now, yeah. So here it is. Here are all the files in JSON. They're in Bob's JSON format. There are two formats for the JSON, funnily enough, which are the text-based files. One is Bob's format, and one is mine for the Ape SDK. Bob adds a bunch of additional stuff in here, and some of the syntax is slightly interesting for the Ape SDK, so I have my own syntax and format. Mainly, I'm working on currently is just getting the polygons right, because the polygon count in these things is huge. So this is the most recent one, which I ran, actually. And I'll show you what what it turns into in terms of actually. So you see the previous one. This is what it becomes. So we're really getting to the stage now. Look at the cities, right? So the town. We're really getting to the stage now where you're starting to get a lot of additional detail, all in vector mapping, all easily accessible, and be really good to start getting agents in there currently. So historically, you may have remembered maybe 5 towns that we were looking at. I think a lot of this has superseded that. I think we might go back to the 5-town model, but a lot of it superseded it, and we just take either, individual maps, or actually, if you see down here, we can get all the maps. Now, this is a mammoth effort, right? So this is 10 megabytes. I'm just trying to show you quickly here. Ho, ho, ho. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe it will. You never know. Never know these computers these days. Anyway, so we're getting to the stage where what we need really is agent modeling now. Look at this map. This is the whole thing. This is the whole SimSeaLion. This is it. I mean, obviously the sea and what have you. So if you want to get a sense of where the project is currently, this is where it is. This is London. This is London. Okay. So we're at a stage where basically everything's coming together very quickly. Now we need to get our, or particularly my agent modeling chops onto this. But we have each of these regions. So London, I think this might be one section of London. I can't remember if it's northwest or northeast. Oh no, it's something completely different. Let's go back to the maps. Let's go back to the real maps and have a look at those. But yeah, we are getting to the point where rather than doing what was originally planned and just let's do some cities, let's do some agent modeling in some cities, let's have a look at the master map. Okay, so 70, 71. Let's have a look at 70, because that's got a lot of city in it. 70. PNG. We'll get this version out, and then we'll go back and have a look at that. So yeah, this is the southwest of London, and quite frankly, there's, oh, let me look at London there. That's London, the southwest of London, right there. So, let's see where we are with PNGs of the actual parsed maps. Maps. What do we say? 7071. Welcome to Father Memory. Okay. We're going two backwards, two forwards. Let's see again. Was it 70 and 71 I said? Let's see. Let's see 70. It's looking a little like London. Yep, that looks like London to me. So, this is the level of detail we're getting to currently. This is London. Let's put some agent models in London. Let's get them riding the trains. Let's get them doing bits and pieces. Was it 70, 71? Sorry about this, folks. In any case. So, we now have JSON files, which can get parsed. We have slight reformatting of the JSON files. We have it putting into Urban and simulating those. With railways specifically, Bob was fascinated around this. So, again, this is getting the railways highlighted through. So this is southwest of London. But if you zoom in around railway points, hard to do on the fly here. But basically, he highlights the railways here as well. So there's still a bit of work to be done, but I really want to get the agent modeling happening right now. And all this is freely available. You can actually access the JSON maps right now through MapBlend, and you can, download if you want a section of London. Let's go back to, is it 70, 71? I seem to recall it's that. Anyway, let's try 71. That looks like it might be a bit of London, potentially. So you can download the JSON directly, which represents what the various areas look like. We have all maps.json for those that want really the really big data set currently. And all this is freely available. So if this is something that interests you, if you're interested in modeling London in 1940, but just haven't had the map yet, all this stuff is publicly available. So that is where we're at currently. And obviously there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be changed about a bit. The aim is to get it into Urban quickly and start looking at how we actually, introduce agents into the environment. But this is the April update. I wanted to do it relatively quickly just to give some insight into what we're doing, map out. And you'll notice, change the theme roughly, right? Less about SimSeaLion, more about London in 1940 currently, because that's what we're working on. So where are we? 345 commits. So this is the stuff that actually does the analysis, make sure whether it's like SDK compatible. And we threw in a few, we obviously, originally working on the 5 areas, Ashford, Canterbury, Folkestone, Maidstone, and Southend. And I added the northwest of London just to give something to run against, something to see how the capacity was. But this is the current situation associated with SimSeaLion. We've got big maps, we've got lots of data, we've got output. So hopefully some agent modelers out there would like to look at London in 1940 and have some use for the maps as well. So please get in contact. My email address is barbelay@gmail.com, which is my name, the title. Actually, no, maybe not at this content, but I'll put my email address in the notes, and I'll give you a chance to get a sense of what's going on with the project, because we're really looking for involvement currently. So thank you very much for listening to this video, checking it out, and like I said, lots and lots of data currently flowing. Tom Bartley in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out.